Hey y'all, Laura here with Cox Homestead, and in today's video I'm going to share with you how we sell our rabbits. My family and I strive to profit from 5 acres right here in Kodak, Tennessee. I had a request on my Facebook to share information for those that maybe aren't new to raising rabbits, to share some of the things I have had to learn and figure out on my own. And this is my answer in response to that encouragement. First and foremost, I don't recommend that you start selling live rabbits right away as you start breeding them. I would love it if you would take some time to make sure that you have quality rabbits before you turn around and sell them. I can't say that's what I did in the beginning, but I have learned so much since then that I wish that I would have been a little slower to sell my rabbits, especially as I've continued to build my name and build my brand in the rabbit world. Now I know more qualities that I want to breed for and use successfully within my rabbitry. So if you've been breeding a while and you feel like you have good quality stock to sell, this video is for you. When I first started selling meat rabbits, I put up a picture of them on Facebook or Instagram along with what gender they were and asked people to DM me to claim a rabbit. This was okay when I had 1 litter of rabbit that I was managing, or maybe even 2, but when we got to breeding and selling multiple different rabbits, multiple different breeds, this got to be way too much to handle, and I simply was getting frustrated in the process of profiting on my homestead. And so we decided at that point we needed to implement an online selling option for our rabbits. We had a website, and so it didn't take us too much longer and too many more steps to upload the rabbits to our website for people to select them. I take a photo of my rabbits based upon their gender. I put all the boys in a basket and take their photo, and then I put all the girls in a basket and take their photo. I then will do individual photos of each of those rabbits, and each of those rabbits will have a code on them for the person to select which rabbit it is they want to buy. My codes go as follows. If the doe's mom's name is Annie, that is the first letter of my code, so it's A. And then if it is a doe, the second letter is D. And then the third thing is a number, and that indicates which number in the litter it is. So it would be AD1, AD2, AD3, so on and so forth, to be able to list all the rabbits in that litter. Then if I am selling a litter with bucks, it would be AB1, AB2, AB3. If I'm selling rabbits from Frida's litter, it would be FD1, FD2, so on and so forth. So that first letter indicates to me who the doe is that that person is buying from. Now, I have 2 does that begin with the letter A. I have Annie and Anna. Anna will be big A, little a, D1. I'll have 2 A's in there to help me distinguish which A is which when it comes to selling that rabbit. You can use whatever code you want. This code just helped me know as the breeder what rabbit that person was coming for. Then I save that photo to my favorites in my phone for my own quick reference. When that person comes to pick up the rabbit, I can pull it up and see, oh, they bought AD4, and I look at the picture and I'm like, there's AD4, and I get that rabbit and I take it up to them. So on my website, you can check that out. It'll be in the description below. You will see the rabbits listed. In there, I make sure to say that these rabbits are not available for shipping. They are local pickup only. Buyer must message me when they plan to pick up their rabbit. I also include wean dates on there, when that rabbit will be weaned and when it will be available for pickup and when it must be picked up by. There's usually about a 1 to 2 week window in there on when those rabbits have to be picked up. I have also done group pickup days where I say I'm available from 2 to 4 on Sunday for you to pick up your rabbits, especially when I have a lot and have a lot of orders coming in. That's been the easiest way for me to find to keep it under control without losing my mind. So once that order is placed, I will then get a handout ready for the person that has bought their rabbit. The handout I have looks like this, and it gives them some basic care and instructions on the rabbit. It says, "Congratulations on your new rabbit. We are honored that you chose a Cox Homestead rabbit." Just a little welcome and thank you and a note that I've put together for them. And I have on here that it has potential to be sexually mature as early as 12 weeks, with most reaching maturation by 16 to 20 weeks. They need to know when this rabbit is going to be ready to breed and when they need to get it separated from other genders. And then I give that information on there for them. And then I also give them in feeding instructions. So we do unlimited feed until 12 weeks old. Then they need to, once the rabbit reaches 12 weeks old, they need to ration out the feed for the rabbit. I have in bold letters here, do not feed anything besides the pellet and hay for 3 weeks after receiving your rabbit. This is to help with the stress of transition. Focus on getting to know your rabbit's mannerisms and normal diet waste. After 3 weeks, you can introduce small amounts of treats. Think leafy greens for treats. It's best to limit fruits and starchy vegetables. I want them to know that my liability only covers my instructions. If they go outside of that, I can't really help them because they didn't listen to what I told them that's best for their rabbit. I also encourage them to avoid extreme temperature changes. And if you realize this rabbit is not a good fit for you, you can return it. And I have that on there. I don't necessarily give their money back, but I will take the rabbit off their hands, no questions asked. And I have had a few people take advantage of that. Also, I have on there our phone number, our address, and I will handwrite on there the mother and father of the rabbit that they bought, the breed and color of the rabbit that they bought, as well as the gender and its birth date. While I do not give pedigrees for all my rabbits, I do like for them to have the rabbit's parents and its birth date on there, so that if something happens to that rabbit and they send me a message, I can say, "Hey, can you tell me what the mom and dad of that rabbit was? Can you tell me its birth date so I know what litter it's from, so that I can help them a little better?" So for example, if they're having a hard time getting that rabbit to breed, I can say, "Well, how old is that rabbit?" And they can refer back to exact birth date. Or if it's not given big enough litters, I can say, "Well, that mom only averaged 8 per time. I wouldn't expect 14 from that mom." Or I would expect large litters from that mom, so on and so forth. Just kind of gives me a reference point to know what genes we're working with when and if that buyer has questions. So when a person shows up to buy a rabbit from me, I will do a health check and gender check in front of them. I check the rabbit's ears and tell them what to look for in the rabbit's ears if there's something going on. I check the rabbit's teeth, make sure that they have a good overbite, no malocclusion, no broken teeth or anything like that. Then I feel the rabbit's spine to make sure it feels nice and healthy and good and meaty, because you don't want to feel any bones or anything like that. And then I also check the feet pads and the stomach. And then last but not least, I check the gender in front of the buyer to teach them how to tell the gender of their rabbit. That is, if they've never had rabbits before, that is their first introduction. And I tell them to pay attention because I want you to see and know what you're getting. And so then I will show them what it looks like. I'll show them where to look and kind of how to do it, and then what the opposite gender would look like as well. I'm sitting here editing this video, and I wanted to also add that I do not let people come into my rabbitry when they buy a rabbit. I bring that rabbit up to my house and do the examination and do all the lessons on the front porch, because you can easily get on YouTube and see my rabbitry. I have nothing to hide, but I don't have all the time to give. And so I will answer all your questions and spend my time preparing you for your rabbit, but I don't do tours and full rabbitry examinations or anything like that when they come to pick up a rabbit. If that's something they want, we can set up another time to do that, and it will come with a cost. Just simply because I'm selling them a $30 rabbit and I don't have forever to spend with them. That sounds heartless, but trust me, I've had to set those boundaries up for me and my family. Because when I'm selling 12 rabbits on a Sunday, I don't have all that time to spend with those people. So just a little tip there for me and how I run it. Totally up to you if you want to do it different. If you don't have videos up showing your rabbitry and people want to see it, feel free to do that. Your call. You have different time frames than I do, and that's totally okay. So that's a little bit about the process of selling rabbits at our homestead. I have found that it goes really smoothly. When someone buys a rabbit, I also offer them transition feed. I usually give them 1 to 2 large cupfuls, and that goes in a baggie or in an empty feed bag for them to have reference of what feed that animal has already been on. And like I said, I offer my phone number and answer any questions they have in the meantime, but I will say that using a website to sell our rabbits has streamlined the process and taken a lot of double sales out of the way. Claudia is eating my shirt. I forgot to introduce you to Claudia. She is a French Lop New Zealand cross. And I remembered that I forgot to introduce you because I remembered that I also forgot to tell you about pricing. Okay, so I sell my polyface and my New Zealand rabbits for $30 a piece. They are not pedigree. They are not I just give the mom and dad, that's it. Now, I will be selling Palominos, and they will be more. I will be selling French Lops, and they will be a lot more. And I sell French Lop New Zealand crosses, and they are more than my New Zealands too. Crosses are around $50, and the full bred French Lops will be $175. The Palominos, I still have to do some price checking, but I want to say around $50 to $75, depending on their gender and age maybe. And then I'm going to be doing some Californians as well, and those will be in a little bit higher price too, because a lot of them will come either pedigree or close to pedigree. So if you don't know what pedigree is, check out this video right here. I'll put it up at the top for you to see. You can figure out the price of your rabbits based upon the amount of feed that you have. You can look at other sellers in your area that are selling quality stock as well. And you can also just come up with a price that you're comfortable with. Ideally, you don't want to go too low, as that hurts our market as a general whole. You want to be kind and thoughtful to your neighbors around you, and having a comparable price is a good way to keep the market healthy. She's so cute. I can't handle this. Cheese, Claudia. Cheese, Claudia. Oh my gosh. If someone shows up and wants to pay cash for a rabbit, I will sell it to them, but I will immediately remove it from my website, because there has been a time or two where I have forgot to remove it and someone else has bought it. So if you go that route, be prepared to remove the rabbit from your website as soon as possible. If you have any questions or want to know more about using a website to sell your rabbits, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, if you have any other questions about our business side of the rabbitry, leave those below. I am looking to create more content for people like you. Until next time, eat more rabbit! I hope you enjoyed staring at my precious little Claudia for this video. Is Mr. Hopper. No, the dad is Bucky and Annie's the mom. It's so chill.
White.
It's white Bucky.
You thought they'd be a color from that combo.
I know. So Bucky must carry it. She carries white but with red eyes. So it must be a Bucky color. I love it. I forgot to talk about pricing in that video. Oh my gosh, look at it. Okay. I gotta hook my mic up and do one more thing.
I want to go ahead.
All right. Sounds good.
There in a little bit.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
My daughter just informed me that I forgot to tell you that Claudia is not for sale. I am keeping her. So I have held her a whole bunch to keep her friendly. Oh my gosh. I can't handle it.
It's like Bucky, except
It's like Bucky but white.
Yeah.
It melts my heart, and I think she loves me too.